Black Status Presenter with Unique, and I'm here today with Katie Ritz, Purple Status Presenter, and Kelly Sarno, Green Status Presenter, and I'm so honored to have them with me today. These ladies are geniuses in the sales department. They both have what I would call Powerhouse PRS, personal retail sales, and we are here to learn what they do, how they do it, and how they have built their businesses, and why PRS is the foundation of their businesses and has helped them to grow. So thank you so much for joining us and investing your time to learn about this. Obviously, these ladies are taking their time out of their day to help you guys out, and so I really appreciate you guys being here. So I'm going to hand this off to Kelly to start, and I'm going to mute myself. Sorry, I forgot to tell you ladies, when you talk, the camera goes to you, so if you're not on camera, just mute it, okay? So Kelly, take it away.
Thanks, Morgan. Okay, so hi, I'm Kelly. I'm a elite green status presenter for the first time, so it's really fun to be able to say that. I joined Unique in December last year, so I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and I'm just now starting the past 2 or 3 months to really, I think, nail my business. So I'm just going to get right into it with a few bulletin points of what I do to amp up my PRS and book parties and, you know, be as successful as possible. So first and foremost, I will say I put a lot of work into my business. I show up to work every day from the moment I wake up until the second that I go to bed. So I think that in this business, if you want to be successful, you have to show up to work and be ready to work to get your sales up where you want them to be. And I'm going to start by saying I think that your personality has to really shine through in your business. So, you know, we talk a lot about branding yourself. I think having like a domain name with, like mine's lookatthemlashes.com, you know, so I really have put myself out there with a brand name, and I just continuously do that. So I think consistency is everything, and letting your personality shine through. And having the drive to really succeed is everything. So how I get all of my personal sales is I don't stop, ever. I post all day long. I post on my personal page, I post in my parties, I post on my VIP page, and I never sell my products. I am an absolute lover of these products, and I just like to tell everybody about them. And I really try to cater to individual needs. So I spend a lot of time doing personal messaging. I do a lot of one-on-one consultations. I am not a professional at applying makeup to other people. So something that I love to do is I love to go to someone's house and just bring my makeup trunk with me that I have like right next to me at all times, and I just apply my makeup and let them sit next to me and apply their makeup too. So they're just learning my tips and techniques, but they're doing it themselves, because applying makeup on someone else is a weak point of mine. So, you know, I don't want to take that personal experience away from somebody, so I just try to create a different way to do it, and by teaching them how to do it side by side. And that almost always ends up in a collection sale, which is an amazing way to boost your personal sales. And it really puts that like one-on-one mark with your customers. So it makes it personal for them, so they feel like they're being treated. And if you do that and you put that little extra into somebody, they're going to come back to you and they're going to tell their friends about it. I just had one girl order who had never even worn makeup before. We got her the Cloud9 collection. I went over to her house. We did our side-by-side little makeup demo. And next thing you know, she's placed 2 orders this month because she just wants to add to her collection because she's just having so much fun. She's getting so many compliments, and I'm getting messages from her every day like, oh my gosh, you know, everyone's saying something about my eyebrows, but they can't figure it out. You know, so just giving them that personal experience and giving them the affirmation that they don't need that, they just need to enhance what they already have to make themselves just feel confident. One of the things I always share on my VIP page and what I always share with my customers is that it isn't about needing makeup. It's about wanting to do something for yourself. So I think when it comes to high quality products, you're really treating yourself to those. So I want all of my customers to have that special experience. And it shows because the majority of my sales are over $100 per customer. You know, so I'm putting something together that's specialized just for her. I'm not just throwing a bunch of graphics out on my VIP page and on my party pages. I'm making it a serious personal experience. So if I have a party going, I have my videos that I post. I do all videos now. I don't do graphics. I think I might put 5 graphics into a party. I do all videos. I do a look of the day. And I just have a lot of fun with it. But as I progress in my parties, I'm messaging my hostess, you know, and this is what I teach my team too, and they've all been really successful with their personal sales this month too, is that, you know, I used to say to a hostess, you just add all your friends and I'll do all the work for you. Well, you know what? I had so many parties flop because of that, because my hostess wasn't working for it. And if you think about it, like, your hostess is getting free makeup. She's got to do something for it. So I constantly have a private message going with my hostesses telling her, you know, hey, 15 people watched this video and no one commented. Why don't you reach out to these 7 people and I'll reach out to these 8 people and let's see if anyone's interested in these products. 2 days later, you know, hey, why don't you post a selfie? Hey, remember that girl? Like, tag her. So I'm constantly working my hostesses, and that is helping her reach out to her friends. It's helping my personal sales grow. It's helping her get more hostess rewards, and it's keeping her excited as well, which will hopefully turn into a sponsorship. So that's how I work my parties. And because my parties just recently over the past 3 months have gotten so much better. So because my parties are being successful and my hostesses are getting anywhere from $50 to $100 of free makeup, you know, their friends are like, well, I want that free makeup. So the people I'm personally reaching out to during these parties that I'm hosting for someone else, you know, I'm then friend requesting them. I'm building a relationship and I'm networking. So I am constantly adding people to my Facebook. And while I don't offer like sales and all these crazy deals on my personal Facebook page, I'm constantly posting selfies or pictures. Like, I had a bunch of girlfriends over last night playing with makeup, so I'm like, oh my God, look at these girls. You know, so networking is enormous. And, you know, Facebook only lets you have 5,000 people on your Facebook page, and while I'm creeping up there at 1,800. I don't think I'll ever have 5,000, but I keep my network in my Facebook page exclusive to my network. So presenters who friend request me, you know, I'd rather have them follow me, and I make everything public for everyone to see so that they can share and get ideas and all that. But I save that for my network because, again, I always bring it back to I want this to be a personal experience. 2 more things that I love to talk about is, 1, educating yourself. So I have a pretty decent sized team, I think of 22 girls, and you know, we have a constant group going where we talk about things, and you know, this foundation is just insane. Obviously, it really put us on the map, and color matching is like a huge thing right now, right? Well, instead of asking, you know, 5 people, hey, what do you think about this color? What do you think about this color match? Educate yourself. Go onto YouTube. You know, all you have to do is type in unique presenter training, and like literally thousands of videos pop up. So if I'm not working my business, I'm watching YouTube. I walk around with earphones in my ears all day long, and I just listen. You don't have to watch a webinar. Just listen and learn and get creative with it. Don't take exactly what someone did and make it your own. Don't repeat it. Like, don't copy it exactly, you know? Like Angie Castellano, how amazing is she? I want to meet her so bad. And me and one of the other girls on my team, because we're from Boston, like, we went back and forth with trying to do like a Boston version of Angie Castellano. It just didn't work because that's her thing, and that's what's putting her on the map. So what you need to do is find out what works for you and what's going to put you on the map. And as long as you stay consistent, and true to yourself and true to your customers, you will see your personal sales grow. I have been networking and I have been building my business, and I have been, staying consistent with this for now 11 months. And only the past 3 months have I seen these boom in numbers. But it's because people believe in me now. They believe that I love these products because I've been doing it for almost a year, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still sharing it, and I'm still excited about it. So I think that staying consistent is everything. And now I know a lot of people are like, I don't have the time for it, and that's fine. This business is awesome because you can make it work for however you want to do it. So if you want to do your minimum $125 a month, then you do that. But that's not why you're listening to this webinar. You're listening to it because you want to boost your PRS. And if you want to do that, you have to work for it. And so, like, literally on my notes, like I always say, it says show up to work. I have, like, things on my mirror that have my goals. Every single month I map out my team, and I check back on this every single day, as well as my own personal goals for the month. I'm a true believer that if you put it out to the universe, you will get it back. But you have to work for it because it's not going to be handed to you. So if you post solidly for a week and then for, the weekend you don't post anything, well, people are going to be like, hey, where'd you go? So stay consistent with that, and the sales will come, And I tell my team all the time, I love how eager they are and so excited to, advance in this company. And that's great, because if you want to go up in this company, that's what you got to have. You got to have that drive and that passion, but you do, I keep saying it, but you have to put the work in because it will come eventually. Just give yourself the time to let people believe in you. And, like the eyebrow products from Unique, for instance, like I don't use those. So I'm not going to, be like, oh, check out my eyebrows. I use Unique when I don't. So I'm going to sell what I know. I'm going to sell what I'm good at, and I'm just going to share that with my network so that they can learn how to love it too. And if, like this touch powder foundation, it doesn't work for everybody. So I'm not going to just sell it because it's the craze. I'm going to learn my customer's needs. I'm going to find out what her lifestyle is like, find out what's already in her makeup bag, and then I'm either going to add to her collection or I'm going to swap out of her collection. So I say, if I can tell you anything about my personal sales and how I personally have been doing so awesome lately, is one, I have a lot of confidence in myself, but it's only because I'm starting to get that back from my network. I have messages constantly like, keep up those videos. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I look forward to it every day. And if someone's looking forward to me doing something every day, you bet your butt I am showing up and I'm giving them what they're excited about, because all that's going to do is turn into customers, personal sales, and new presenters. And I think that's it. Education is big in my world. And just so you know, a lot of people are like, I don't have the time. I nanny 4 kids 45 hours a week. I am a full-time mom to a 6-month-old baby who I bring with me when I nanny. I run a very successful photography business where I work 8 to 12 hours on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm being very successful with Unique. So when people say they don't have time, I don't believe it. You have to make time if this is what you want. So that's all that I have. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Stay consistent, stay positive, and share it. Don't sell it. And I think that you'll see it all roll in eventually. Just because you have a bad month, don't give up. And don't ever call it a dud party. It's only a dud party if you don't have a party. If there are 5 people in that group, you treat that group like there's 5,000. And you just stick with it for that full 10 days no matter what. And that 5 people in that group, they're watching. And they will come back. I promise you that. So that's it. I think that's it. Make yourself a vision board and keep going and just be consistent, and that's it. And I guess we'll just send it over to Katie.
Yeah, actually, real quick before you wrap it up, would you mind touching on the number of parties you've done? Like, you had those stats the other day of success and quote unquote, failures, dead parties.
Yeah. So
And also,
That was
sorry, and
actually
how it leads to sponsoring. How did you build your team with your
So that was a really interesting thing, and I don't know what made me think of looking at it. You know what? I have a bunch of new girls recently, and they were all like, "Oh, this party's a dud. This party's a dud," and it's like their first and second party. So I told them, like, all of a sudden you signed up for Unique, and all of a sudden your whole entire network is being bombarded with all this makeup stuff, and my girls hadn't even gotten their kits, and they were like, let's go. And this is what I was saying. I'm like, nothing is a dead party. So in the 11 months, now this was last week, I've had a few more parties since, but in 11 months, I have done 94 parties. 29 of them were parties that were under my name, so, my normal 10-day link that we all have. So that brings me down to 65 parties that I hosted for other people. I had 3 months where I didn't even have a party. Like right after I had Declan, I was just doing my bare minimum to stay active. And 32 out of those 65 parties didn't have rewards or even sales. So really, in 11 months, I've had 33 successful parties. But all it takes is one good one, and you can really just bank off of that and keep going off of that and always check back. And honestly, Morgan, like I reach out to you too all the time about sponsoring. Sponsoring is my weak spot. It's only recently that my team has really started to grow, and I'm telling you, like, the consistency that I've put forth the past 3 months, I told my husband the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to be a Black status presenter. Like, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to be a Black status presenter. And when I set a goal for myself, I make sure that I attain that goal. So because I share this and don't sell it, like, I would say 89% of my team has approached me about joining my team. So they just see how much fun we're having. My team posts on my personal page. I post on their personal page. I congratulate them all the time because they're working their tails off and they deserve the congratulations. But everyone around us is seeing this momentum that we have, and they're seeing how much fun we're having. Like, I just posted one yesterday. I posted a congratulations to my girl Shannon, who went yellow in a week. Good job. And she was so hesitant to even join this company. I'm so proud of her. But anyways, one of the girls on my friends list that I went to high school with was like, I got to get in on this. And then within an hour, my girlfriend who owns a salon is like, okay, talk to me, I'm ready. So just sharing the excitement and the love, and again, not selling people on becoming a sponsor or becoming a presenter is what's working for me. So it always comes down to consistency, excitement, and, just sharing everything and not selling a thing. All right, so I think, Katie, off to you, and I'm going to shut up.
So am I on right now? You guys seeing me? Yeah? Okay. Very good. Well, hi, everybody. My name is Katie Ritz. I'm a Purple Status presenter. I met Morgan. Let me just give you history. I met Morgan back, on the message boards, but then we were at Unified in March 2014, and immediately I knew that she was a businesswoman, and we just hit it off. So I have a very business mindset, as does she. And one of the things that I want to present to you about PRS is when we were at Unified, we had to carve a potato. Okay, something with your business, with Unique. So what I did is I carved a 3-dimensional box and I put a floating eyeball in the middle of it. Okay, and the reason I did that is because this business allows you to look in so many different directions. You cannot just be dead set on one area. Okay, you have to be able to be looking around at all the opportunities that this business allows us to do, and that's exactly what I did. When I joined Unique, I work full-time in contracts. I have a 9-year-old son. I'm a single mom. He was 7 at the time. I knew that this is something that I could run with. I love makeup. I love social media. I love advertising and marketing. So it's like this grand coming together of everything. So what do? You work for what you want. If you want to succeed in this business, then you put in the time. Just like Kelly said, it is great if you want to do $125 a month. That's wonderful. Get those, those bonuses or the commission at the week. So what was I going to do? everything. I did everything. I'm going to share with you exactly what I did. Did exactly what Kelly said and what Morgan preaches. Parties. Parties are our bread and butter, and that's what I did from the very first one. And I actually go back to the very first party that I did, and I cringe a little bit because what is this business about? It's about learning and growing. So just like Kelly does, I listen to a lot of webinars. I listen to a lot of books on tape. When I'm driving to work, when I'm in the shower, I listen to Jackie Ulmer. If you guys aren't listening to her, go listen to Jackie Ulmer. But parties, I think that Kelly's right in so that videos sell. Your friends trust you. When you're first starting out in this business, who do you reach? Your warm market, right? You reach your friends and your family. They don't want to see some girl from California that they have no idea who's that, if that's a pretty picture, but how does it work on you? So I found out very quickly that if I was going to make this a success, I needed to learn a little bit about makeup and lighting and editing and sharing these products because my friends trust me. If I say, hey, go grab a pizza from down the street, the place that just opened, they're probably going to be more inclined to do it than if they see a commercial about it, right? So try to get in front of that video camera. It's going to be scary, and I promise you, you are going to learn so much, but you're going to gain so much. I have friends of mine from, I grew up a military brat, so my friends are all over the place. I have a friend of mine that says, Katie, I love to watch your videos because I feel like you're talking to me, and I miss you, and I feel like you're talking to me. So keep them fun, keep them light. I think that Kelly said as well, make it how you, in your voice, how you would speak to somebody. If you go over to my site on Facebook, my Unique by Katie Ritz over on Facebook, you will see that I sometimes will take pictures, like there was one about crazy eyebrows, and it was a funny picture, but I put my eyebrows because I have one eyebrow that loves me and the other that doesn't. And it's just my personality. People laugh because they know that's totally Katie. So you have to make things personal. I know that everybody's seen the red cup thing going around. I thought about posting that picture too. Instead, I went down to Starbucks, got a cup for myself, and did a 15-second Instagram video that allowed for people to see me. There's a big controversy about red. The only red I see is not the red on this lid for my lip stain. Think about how to make it your own. So parties are the bread and butter, and I think, Morgan, I just looked when Kelly was talking about how many parties she's done. I've been with the company, it'll be 2 years in January. I've had 137 parties. I haven't been able to go through to see how many were not successful, but I will tell you, I have on more than one occasion had nobody show up. And I do events. I first did groups, then I started doing 1-hour events. Not a person. Not even the hostess. But do you know what I did? Instead of throwing my hands up and be like, this doesn't work, I'm done, forget it. It is opportunity. When you think something isn't going right, something can turn into being something very right, okay? So what you do is you just pretend like you are talking to a room full of very excited women that want to hear about the product. Why? Because it gives you practice, okay? So what happened with mine is somebody couldn't make the event, and one of them in particular. She came back in 2 days later. I get a message from somebody, I have no idea who they are. They want a collection. Why? Because she went through and she saw all the posts I did, all the videos that I did, and it spoke to her. She's actually still a great customer of mine. So what I've done is I talked in the beginning about how you need to look at every single area. Let's talk. This is what I do. I do everything. Let's talk about advertising. I am a business. I want to run this as a corporation. If I were Coca-Cola, how would I enter a new market? Think about these things, okay? People do Google ads. Be careful with Google ads because if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money on them, so be careful with that. But if you know how to harness the power of them, they can work for you. Bing ads, Facebook ads, that is my goal currently. I am seeing good returns on Facebook ads, but a lot of people will have this mentality, I don't know anything about Facebook. I don't know how to do that. Really? What do you do? Tons of free information all over YouTube, everywhere. Why are you not taking advantage of what people have already done? Why are you not taking advantage of what somebody's already put in the time? Don't reinvent the wheel, just go learn about it, okay? So learn it, implement. You know, you might strike out, but you'll never hit it out of the park if you don't get up to bat, okay? So I had the mentality of editing a video, I don't know how to do that. to I'm going to learn how to do that, to I'm going to be the best at editing a video that I'm going to have Steven Spielberg call me and have me edit his next film. You have one website that I really like is called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. And if you do go to my Facebook business page, sometimes you'll see a intro, and it has my initials and my logo, and it's just an intro. What that helps with is I've learned that when you're doing videos, if you have a song or something, Facebook will block it because you don't have copyright. But if you have about 8 second delay, they'll allow you to add the music to the end. So I have an intro. It has, my branding. You are your own brand. So look into Fiverr.com. They also have like translations. So if you're trying to hit somebody in Germany, I have the top German seller right now. She had $11,000 in team sales last month. How did I communicate with her? I reached out to bloggers. Okay, you have got to hit every part of social media. I have probably messaged 400 to 500 bloggers. I had one contact me back, but that one is amazing. And she just turned green in Germany, and we've only been open a couple of months. So again, you have got to be consistent. You have got to reach out to every market. Let's talk about Instagram real quick. So I said reaching out to bloggers. Bloggers on Instagram. If you are also posting on Instagram, are you using hashtags in the language that you're trying to reach? I know you have England. Aren't you have Spanish? You have to think about these kind of things. YouTube videos. You know that you can, on a YouTube video, create a link back to your site? You can. Do you know how to do it? Neither did I. You go learn, okay? Events. I do events in and around my community. When you're first starting, you've got to build a network. So I did events. I went down to the Birmingham Galleria for 3 days, and I set up a little booth at their little thing that they did last year. And for 3 days, I stood there, and I got my mascara out, and I sold about 60 mascaras, made connections, and signed 2 presenters. It's about making connections, getting out there, letting people know about the products. You would be amazed even today. I know people think, oh, it's just there's too many. I meet people every day that have never heard of Unique. You create those relationships. It is about the one-on-one. So get out there in your community. Go to your, the Chamber of Commerce. If you're trying to reach the Spanish market, why aren't you going to see if there's any like Latina organizations with the Chamber of Commerce registered? Why aren't you doing that? If you want to make those connections, go do that. Pinterest, we've talked about this before. Pinterest, you can use hashtags. Pinterest, I tried to do Pinterest for business. I saw a little bit of return, but that's one good option. GoDaddy. Let me tell you why GoDaddy is good, and let me talk to you about cards. This is my Spanish business card. This is me very photoshopped. But what I did is, this is all in Spanish because in my area, we have a lot of Hispanic people in the area. Well, I wanted to be able to reach them. But one thing that I did, and I registered the website Pestañas Grandes. So if you type that in, big lashes in Spanish, goes to my site. You have got to think about things like that. Yeah, that I do for PRS and show people that buy from me, but how do you then hold on to that person so they just want to try more than just the mascara? That's why I always say we're more than mascara, and that covers many facets. But in this instance, we want people to try the amazing, foundation that just came out, or the palettes. So how do you maintain and keep connection? I keep a rolling list. I go to MailChimp. Every single person, their email address is in there. And I have it so I know which month they bought something, and about an entire list of people, and I'll say, hey, I know that you ordered back in March. Are you interested in going ahead and getting a new order for that mascara? But let me tell you about some other products that we have and some collections and sets that can save you money. Follow-up is key with people. The money is in the follow-up, and it's true. One other thing I do is if I get some random sales from a Facebook ad or from a Pinterest or from my business page, I will send, and I had these made up. This is before we had like follow-ups like blitz cards and stuff from our back office. I went ahead and I went and made this little postcard. It introduces myself, tells them about me, how they can contact me, and this is what you can do. Since it's a private, this is private message, right? I can offer them maybe 10% off if they come back to me. Because this isn't public. This isn't going out into like a public place. This is just going to their home. I say, if you come back to me, contact me, and I will give you 10% off your next order. Boom. Not only that, I have a new order and a follow-up customer, and maybe then they'll tell their friends about me, right? Another thing that I do is if I see somebody is going to order a collection from me, I say, you know what? I'd love that you want to order this collection. Let me go ahead and order a link for you, open a link for you. You can share it, and you don't, you know, you're already going to be at, like, let's just say it's a Cloud9 collection. You're already going to be at $145. You only need $55 to get hostess rewards. It's psychological for people. They're like, I'm only $55 away from getting how much? They'll share that link if they want it. And if they don't, what are you out? You're not out anything. But you might be in for a lot more on your return. That in turn, and those relationships created, will then potentially get new presenters coming to you. So I always do that for people because I think it's just what Kelly said as well. People want to know that they are valued. And if I say, yeah, I can take your $145 for that Cloud9, yeah, absolutely. Or what if you say, let me do something for you. You're going to buy this Cloud9. Let me go open a link for you because you could potentially, what could you potentially get? You know, I think that there's that image going around where people, when the internet first came out, they would get so excited about getting an email, and you know, they'd have a ton of mail in their mailbox. It's completely different now, right? People get flooded in their inbox with certain things, but they never get that personal touch. So a little can go a long way in that regard. Trying to think. Let me just go. Oh, another thing that I did that I thought was really beneficial is if I were when I was in college, I wish that I knew about Unique. Okay, I wish that I didn't have to work at Walmart while I worked in college because it was stressful and I had to, you know, work around my class schedule, and it was. If I had Unique, I could make my own hours in college. So what I did is I went to Troy University. It was Troy State when I went. I contacted their newspaper department, and I put in an ad for all incoming freshmen, a newspaper that was given to all incoming freshmen, about the opportunity, not about selling the product, about the opportunity. 2 presenters I landed with that. Okay, got to think about these things, and it was economically, it was fine. It didn't cost me that much. Let's just say it like that. But the return on investment, the ROI, was Instagram, hashtags, customer service, Fiverr. I think that's probably it. I think that it really is about consistency. You cannot just disappear on this business. People know me now as the girl who sells Unique. I posted my homeowners page about, you know, it's a closed group. I posted, hey, if anybody in the neighborhood wants something, let me know. I have 2 people in my neighborhood signed up. Just from that post, they'll come back. I don't think people are watching. People are always watching you. And you want to give them quality to look at, you know. So I go back and look at some of my early videos or pictures, and I'm like, okay, could have done better. But you know what? You start from somewhere, and you learn, and you progress, and you put your little mark on it. And people will know that what you're sharing with them is something that's genuine. And when you start sharing like that confidence that they then have in themselves and they want to share that with others, it's going to just continue to trickle. So that is my advice. I guess that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm feeling inspired from you guys, and I have all these ideas rolling now, and for as long as the baby's going to sleep, I'm going to be working after this webinar. But I think, you know, kind of the resounding theme across all of this is be yourself and create value for your customers to be working with you, and keep it personal. And I'm sure some of you are watching this and you're thinking, well, like, I don't have XYZ. I don't have a nice camera. I don't have a nice, you know, a nice little card to send out to everybody in my network. I don't. Guess what? You got to start somewhere. I don't care if you take a Post-it note and stick it in an envelope and say, thanks for your order. I can't wait to talk to you. Or send an email. You don't have to have a beautiful template. I know those are things that slow me down when I think of how I want to do it perfectly versus what I can do today. And one of my mantras is done is better than perfect, because it is, you know, either you can send a follow-up or you can wait until you have the perfect email template or you have your perfect, you know, card to send them, but then that's waiting, and that's losing touch with your customers. So yeah, keeping it customer specific, make them feel good about their experience, and make them feel good about working with you. People want you. And that's how you create a following. That's how you get people excited about joining your team. Both Katie and Kelly, in addition to being top PRS, are also top in sponsoring and also top in new team sales right now. Kelly's on the leaderboard for the entire company. Katie won the iPad for being at the top of the leaderboard for new team PRS a couple months ago. This isn't random. They don't have superpowers. They are motivated, they're excited, they're authentic, and they never give up. So I'm so happy for you guys to have joined us today. And you know, we're available to help you. Your upline is available to help you. I hope you learned something today. And I think let's all go and keep on rocking and grow your business. You all got to start somewhere. Start where you are. Do what you can with what you have where you are. It's a Teddy Roosevelt quote. Live by it. Start today, and you'll never know where you'll end up. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you around.